Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. Chase Bank has shut down a young girl's bank account after she deposited money for selling her chickens, her prize chickens. Now, you know that I've had issues with Chase in the recent past. As a matter of fact, my account was frozen just last week trying to wire money to buy cryptocurrency. And this is getting worse and worse. I want to talk about that down below. This story comes out of Arizona. And if you have had problems with Chase Bank, let me know down below. And what were those problems when it comes to the fraud alerts? This story is out of Yahoo Finance, but it was first covered by MoneyWise. It's entitled Arizona Girl, 10 years old, sells prize chicks for $2,100, but then Chase froze her check, closed her account. And here's why. And I think a lot of us can take some lessons from this. But first, I have to say, this is one of the reasons why I've been talking about getting multiple bank accounts over the last couple of years, not only due to a massive banking crash that's headed our way. It's already begun in 2023, and it is getting worse. But because of things like this, let's just start. Some 10-year-olds sell cookies and lemonade to earn a bit of spending cash, but not Kinley Manor. Kinley from Thatcher, Arizona, is earning money by raising and selling chickens at the local fair. She really enjoyed it and had a lot of fun, learned a lot about chickens. Her father, J.R. Manor, told Arizona's Family on Your Side, it really taught her the kind of strict obedience of being out there and taking care of an animal. Now, you're going to be blown away with why Chase finally opened her account in a second here. It says here, after showing her feathered friends at the Graham County Fair, Kenley, like many people who show animals at the fair, put them up for auction. But when bidding was over, Kinley managed to sell her 6 chickens for a whopping $2,100 in change, which her mother, Kaylee, electronically deposited into her bank account. A day later, however, Chase Bank froze the check and then closed Kaylee's account entirely. Think about what that would do psychologically or mentally to a young girl that is so excited about selling her chickens, 10 years old. Can you imagine being 10 years old and being able to sell your chickens for $2,100, the most money you'd ever made, right? And then her parents depositing the money into a bank and then it being frozen. You can only imagine what her parents' reaction at home would have been like. Think about that for a second. I know it's important to think about these kind of things because what does that now put in a child's mind about the banking system? Many of you would probably say this was a very valuable lesson in her life. But at 10 years old, is this the kind of lesson you should be learning? I don't know. I can honestly say at 10 years old, I was never moving that kind of cash. At 10 years old, I was selling candy in junior high. Was I even 10 years old in junior high? What grade are you in when you're 10 years old? Put it down below. It says here, a year later, Kenley has still not received her profits. Our banking system needs to stop. We need a change in this country very soon. It says here, why would Chase freeze an account? Kenley's mom spent several hours on the phone with Chase trying to figure out what happened to the girl's prize money and why her account had been closed. According to Callie, Chase said when bank officials checked the phone number on the Small Stock Association, which issued the payment, it was out of service. That seemed suspicious to them, so they froze the funds and closed her account. Last week, one of my accounts were closed, and I've got over 8 banks, different types of accounts, just in case something like this happens. I did a large money transfer, and they shut down our account. The reason why they shut down our account, they said, was because our new phone number was a different phone number that they're used to. And my wife said, I changed our phone number at the account a month ago. And they said, well, sorry, we're going to shut it down. And nobody could help her. My wife was so ticked, took over 24 hours to get it resolved. Even our personal banker which we have a personal banker, is sitting there trying to call Chase Corporate going, listen, this was her account. Oh, and by the way, the account that we were wiring money to was another account that we've had for, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years. And we have wired, I think, 8 different times from that Chase account to this other account. Same account number, routing number, everything. Nothing changed. Same security code, everything the same. And you think about this young girl at 10 years old sells her chickens. And I don't know this family personally, but how many families have an extra $2,100 to go to their daughter and say, hey, we're going to make you whole. We're going to go take care of the big bad bank over here. But Kenley, here's your money, right? How many families do you think don't have that luxury to have that kind of money sitting in the bank on the side? It says here, according to Callie, her mom, Chase said when the bank officials checked the phone number, okay, we already went through that. Sorry. Chase's ultimate response is that, sorry, Kenley is not going to get her money back, JR told the reporters. And there's nothing we can do unless we can verify that check. Isn't that insane? Isn't that absolutely just utterly insane? So the man from the Small Stock Association who wrote the check went to Chase to verify it in person. According to the Manners, he went in there 3 different times to attempt to verify the check. But Chase said he could only verify it by phone. What in the heck is wrong in our world right now, where someone cannot go into a bank, and this was exactly what happened with us. We went in there in person. Here's our IDs. Here is our face. We're in front of our personal banker, showing them, hey, we have literally tried wiring money like we've done 6, 7, or 8 times before to the exact same accounts, and you've frozen us. And the person at Chase is going, hey, here's my my employee identification number. Here's my name. I'm calling from this branch. I'm standing right in front of my own clients. I'm looking at them. I know them personally. I've got their ideas. Unfreeze this account. You know, in the last couple of years, I've watched people lose, or 4 or 5 years, lose a lot of money. When the SEC stepped in on XRP, and I'm sure this video is going out to a lot of people that don't own crypto. You know, type 1 if you don't own any crypto, right? But this is an important story. Hey, type crypto if you own crypto. I watched the SEC move in and sue Ripple, and all of these exchanges that had millions and millions of people's money, they just froze them like that, and you're done. I know someone personally that had a lot of money tied up in that account, and as the value of XRP exploded like 2-3 times its value, people like me were able to sell it and make a big profit. People like this person I'm referring to, some of them are related to, was not able to sell it. When this next banking crisis happens, the reason why it's so vital, so incredibly imperatively just important that you have multiple accounts is because I think that you're going to see certain accounts just freeze, and the government's going to take a lot of time sifting through the ashes and trying to get you your money back. And in that amount of time, people are going to absolutely panic because they only have one bank, and they are going to start selling personal items and just minds melting down. I don't want that for you. If you see a world where that's even possible, do you think I'm off base? Type yes or no. Am I off base? Say yes. If I'm not off base, say no. This makes sense. This is what makes sense. You should have multiple bank accounts. But yet over the years, last 3 years since I've started this channel, I've explained this multiple times, and there are a lot of people that just don't understand it. Now back to her story, this young girl that sold her chickens, got $2,100, and still has not received this money back. It says here, Chase's actions in freezing Kenley's check. This is the largest bank in the United States, by the way. In freezing Kenley's check and closing Callie's account, align with standard bank practices for risk mitigation and fraud prevention, especially under KYC or Know Your Customer and AML, anti money laundering regulations. When banks encounter checks from unfamiliar sources that suspect fraud, they may flag the transaction. But think about this: the gentleman that wrote the check to this young girl went into the branch 3 times and tried to verify that check. That check is real. I wrote the check and I sent it to her. You think the bank could just simply go, let's just check to see if there's funds in the account and go for it? You've got an ID, your name's on the check, it's your company. Yeah, we can do that. Yet they still have not received their funds. It says, however, in this situation, Chase refused to accept the issuing person's in-person verification, possibly due to policies that require verification to occur on channels that they can document. So I guess they're saying that in-person doesn't qualify for proper documentation, such as the phone. Think about this world. I remember my wife saying, we are never banking at Bank of America ever. This was in 2006 when we had multiple loans with them, mortgages with them on properties that we were flipping, simply because that you'd contact them on the phone or you'd walk into a branch. This is the thing they would ask you. What's your social security number? I don't want to give you that. I just don't want to. Why would I give that to you? Well, sorry, you need to give us your social security number for us to talk to you or help you. And on the automated phone system, it would say, to continue, you need to put in your social security number. If you don't have a social security number, just hit this button and you're going to go straight to someone that can help you right away. So we said, screw that. We hit that button, we went straight to someone else. Like, can I help you? Yeah, I need to do some banking. Okay. What's your account? And I would tell them, like, oh, sir, you have to give us your social security number. Because they would look at our info. We go, we don't want to give it to you. Like, sorry, sir, we can't help you if you don't. Like, what the heck? Who are these people that don't have a social security number? Well, they're people that are, they're not American citizens. People that are either here illegally or on a green card. Oh, but you bank for them? You take their money and put it into account just like you do with us. You charge them fees, you charge us fees, but we have to give you our social security number. So it's almost like here in America, we have less rights if we are American citizen than people that aren't citizens. Sound familiar? Now, this was back in 2006. If you've experienced that, or, say I've had that happen to me. If this has happened to you, or this just pisses you off, let me know down below. This is why it is so vitally important that you pay off your debt, you become your own bank, and you have multiple bank accounts getting ready for this crash. Combining this event is coming, and it's getting worse. The pot is boiling over. People are getting pissed. And I have to be honest with you, I believe that soon, and I was going to cover this later, but I believe you're going to see a massive migrant riot unleash sometime before January, especially as mass deportations are. And this is still on the side of banking, because think about the amount of money that migrants have in banks too. They do. Not all of them do. Not all their money. There's a lot of mattress money out there. I know people personally in the construction industry in California. I have buddies that aren't legal, and I see the mattress money. I know it exists. But this is why we have to be prepared for something big coming. It says here, this is Chase's deal. While these steps aim to protect the bank from regulatory challenges and fraud, they can create issues. This is the reporter saying they can create issues when applied without consideration for unique situations, such as a child depositing a large sum. Online, several customers report issue with Chase closing accounts without recourse. A year after that fair, where Kinley sold her chickens, she still has not received her funds. Now she just did, and this is what happened. Until they called the local news channel, and this is just coming out right now. When the local news channel was contacted, and it was a little segment they had calling Arizona's family on your side. They did a story, and instantaneously, or within a handful of days, miraculously, Chase fixed it. But what if you don't have the voice of a local news channel? What happens? I mean, you've actually seen videos where I've stood out in front of Chase and gone, I've been frozen out of my account. Things happen fast. All of a sudden, 100,000 views come their way. But this is happening more and more often. And that's why I keep stressing the need to be in multiple banks, because you still have to conduct business. I have a plan coming out, hopefully in the next 8 weeks, of how to create money in a way that nobody knows that you have it. It's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. That's why I would encourage you to sign up for the newsletter, because I don't exactly know how to push this out the safe way, but I think it's very important that people understand how to make this happen to where nobody can, for a very serious situation sometime in the future, where you'll be able to have money set away to where nobody knows you got it. So if you want to follow the newsletter, the link's down below. It's free. I never sell your information, never sell your email, none of that crap. I'm trying to get information out to the people, to every single one of you, in a safe way to where I can still be on the air and talking. I hope you got something out of this. If you've been screwed over by Chase Bank or any other bank, let people know down below what they did to you so that people can see this and make good judgments, because I don't even believe the Yelp reviews anymore of different banks. I think a lot of that stuff's faked. All right, with that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.